Hello from Tri-Van Truck Body in Ferndale, Washington. This is Kason Van Driel, and today I'm going to take you on a quick tour of a probation van that we've recently completed for a customer in Northern California in Shasta County. This van is an all-wheel drive Transit 350 with dual rear wheels, all-wheel drive, and a gas engine. Very easy to drive and perfect for an upfit like this. And we can configure these any way you like. This particular model is a high roof, extended length configuration with lots of room inside. Outside, it's pretty straightforward. There's not much in the way of modifications we've made, which makes it quite low profile. You can see at the top of the van that we've added a Fiamma automatic awning or an electric awning that opens and closes with one push of the button. Then immediately below that, on the upper shoulders, you can see two exterior scene lights. So they, along with scene lights at the back of the van, and then also on the left side of the van, they illuminate the entire area around the truck. At the right rear corner, we've got a 120 volt outside plug with a weatherproof cover. And then we've also added a camera, this one showing here on the door, and then there's one on the dashboard as well as on the rear face of the truck. And that's a 360-degree observation camera that lets you see what's going on outside the van when it's being used. On the left side of the van, we've got the same thing here. Another camera on the left front door. Here is your incoming 30 amp shore power plug, very straightforward. And that's really it for modifications on the outside of the van. There's not much else you would see that would distinguish it from a regular cargo van. Now let's take a look inside. I'm standing at the front of the probation van looking towards the rear. You can see how we've got it laid out here. At the rear are two opposed benches with provision for a conference table that mounts in the floor right between them. And each of these benches has storage space underneath. This one here has storage, and you can also see the air conditioning unit. That's a factory Ford option on these vans. And on the left side, also storage for the aluminum legs that go into the pockets in the floor, as well as our auxiliary battery system, complete with charging equipment and an inverter. And here's how it looks with the table situated in place. Nice place to conduct interviews or meetings, and room for added seating over here as well. And on the left rear side of the van, we've got some critical electrical functions located above this work surface. First of all, we have, of course, a smart TV that's just starting up right now. And then we have, by Blue Sea Systems, a marine grade 120 volt electrical distribution panel that's labeled with each breaker for its specific function. And then on the other side here, we have a 12 volt marine grade panel also labeled for its specific function. We have the inverter control panel, which allows you to take 120 volts off of your 12 volt battery. We have a generator start control panel, which is connected to the 7,000 watt gas generator on board here. We have transfer switches that let you select between generator power or shore power for your electrical loads. And then here you tell your plugs where they're going to get power from, either from the inverter or from the shore power / generator. And then of course here we have regular 120 volt plugs with USB-A and USB-C charge ports. And then below that, a good amount of storage, all aluminum construction, heavy duty, and you can configure these shelves any way you need to. Now I'm standing with the interview table behind me looking towards the front of the van. And you can see here another small work surface with a heater below it. And above that, we've got an overhead cabinet, good amount of storage, and easy to operate with these simple springs and slam latch hardware. Across the aisle from that is a large storage area with 2 doors. This is intended to be used for folding tables and chairs, or whatever the customer needs it to be used for. And below that, we have the 7,000 watt Onan gas powered generator. And this is plumbed to the chassis fuel tank, and then all the air intake and air exhaust and engine exhaust all are routed through the floor of the van. At the front of the van, each of the passenger seat and the driver's seat have had swiveling bases installed so that they can turn around 180 degrees and face the rear of the van. And then over here, we've added a third seat as well with a seat belt and a swiveling base. So this one can be used as well for a third passenger while you're driving. It's got a seat belt and it's mounted properly to meet crash worthiness standards. Then when the driver's seat is swiveled 180 degrees and this seat is pushed back all the way, that small table drops down and you have either a workstation or a small meeting area. I'll show you that in a moment. And here we are with this small meeting area deployed, ready for action. At the front of the van, things are configured pretty much the way Ford made them from the factory. Your regular controls, your large monitor with map, audio controls, climate controls, etc. And then above that, we have the safety vision screen, which displays the 4 cameras on the van as well. And those cameras, by the way, also display an image on the one that I showed you towards the rear. And that's all connected to a 4 terabyte hard drive underneath there. So everything that's recorded outside the vehicle will be captured on that hard drive. Back at the rear of the van, there's a few details worth noting before we wrap up the video. This van is insulated with 2 inches of urethane spray foam insulation in the roof and in the walls, and that helps to keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Then we line it all with aluminum sheet, which is pre-painted and which is easy to keep clean and wipe down. All the cabinets are made in our shop, so they're custom made for each specific vehicle. Overhead cabinets, for example, follow the contours of a van like this, so they maximize the amount of space available, and they're built with 1/8 inch aluminum plate, so they're designed to last a long time. And they're welded, they're not bolted together. Adjustable height shelves, where appropriate, are easy to work with and they'll support lots of weight. They've also got a 1-inch return lip, so stuff doesn't shift while you're driving. And it's designed to last a long time, even with daily use. Well, folks, that concludes this tour of this Tri-Van Probation van. We hope it gives you a sense of what some of our capabilities are here at Tri-Van. We're easy to work with, we do spectacular work, and we'd love to work with you. If you're interested in hearing more, or you've got a project that you're not quite sure how to get started, give us a call. We'd love to work with you. My name's Kason, and this is Tri-Van Truck Body. Thanks for watching.